Bonjour, comment allez-vous? Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Langue with Anubhav. If you have already subscribed to my channel, press the bell icon to get the latest updates. As the heading suggests, today we are going to discuss about the examination pattern of DALF C1 exam, which is Diplôme Approfondi de langue française of niveau C1, right? Now, as I said earlier, okay, I had already shared the examination pattern of A1, A2, B1, B2, and I had shared that, okay, once I appear for the exam of C1, and if I ought to clear it, I'll make a video on C1 examination pattern, and maybe someday in future preparation videos as well. So yeah, I appeared for the exam, C1 exam in December 2024, and in January 2025, I have received the result. I have cleared the exam. I have shared my experience in 2 videos. Do check them out. So today, I'm going to talk about the examination pattern of C1. So as we all know, the common European framework has given 6 proficiency levels, okay, for any language. Like A1 is the beginner level, right? A2 higher than beginner, B1 intermediate, B2 higher intermediate or upper intermediate, C1 advanced, C2 is the proficient level. Proficient, that means as good as natives, right? You are an expert now if you have cleared C2. So today I'm going to talk about C1 examination pattern. Up to here, the examination pattern is exactly the same. Okay, questions are of course different. Difficulty level is of course different. But the kind of pattern, like the blueprint, is somewhat the same. Blueprint in the sense, entire paper is of 100 marks, divided into 4 sections, 25, 25, 25, 25. Okay, 25 into 400. Okay, C2 has got a distinct structure altogether, so I'm not touching that at all. PO, PE, CO, CE. Production oral means speaking. Production écrit, writing. Comprehension oral, listening. Comprehension écrit, reading. Okay, fine. Now, talking about the passing criteria, at least 5 out of 25 in all the sections, and total should be minimum 50 out of 100. So if you are getting a total of 49.5, it is known admi. Okay, like if you have cleared this criteria but this criteria is not met, this is all known admi. You haven't cleared the exam. And if this criteria is met and this criteria is not met, it is elimine. So you need to fulfill both the criteria to get admi or admis. Okay, this is what means pass, to pass the exam, DELF exam. Okay, so I would like to start the discussion with the discussion on the production oral, which is the speaking section, 25 marks. First things first, you get to choose 2 documents. 2 documents you get to choose. They have multiple text declenchers. Okay. Now, what do we have here? You can either have 2 long articles, or maybe 2 plus 1, 2 long and 1 short, or 3 medium length articles. It all varies, right? Varies from question to question, and all will share a common theme. That is, of course, most important. They will have a common theme. Now, on this, you get 1 hour preparation time to prepare your expose, and of course to prepare yourself for the debate that will take place with the examiner. You get 1 hour preparation time, which is very nice. And you also get 1 dictionary. Each candidate gets a dictionary from the examiners themselves, but it's monolingual. There's no English. It's entirely in French. Okay, the words, the meanings, everything is in French. It's an entirely French dictionary. You will get that. So if you feel confused for some word, you can definitely search the meaning in the dictionary itself. Right. Now, 1 hour preparation and you get the dictionary too. You get, of course, you can use multiple brouillon. Please note, please don't write the entire thing, just the key points and the important aspects like the connectors you have written. If you are using subjunctive, write that phrase entirely. If you are using a complex sentence, maybe you can write that specific phrase as well, right? So just not to mess up during the passation, right? Now, temps de passation, it is 30 minutes for PO. The time when you are giving the exam, 30 minutes, out of this 10 to 12 minutes will be your expose, monologue, right? Expose or based on this. Now, one thing students do is they have multiple uh, text. First they are talking about entirely of the first text, then second and third, not like that. Okay, initially you have given the introduction of all the three texts, but after that you need to pick elements from all of them in a random order depending upon the flow of your expose, right? So you can't just do like first document you have finished, then second, then third. No, not like that. That's what we do in Synthèse as well. This is the same thing that we require to do in Synthèse. You can't just do a resume of first, then second, then third. No, it should be a cohesive thing that uh, takes up elements from different places, different documents, and then you have presented them in a cohesive and coherent manner. 10 to 12. 15 to 20 minutes is your debate. Okay, 10 to 12 minutes monologue, 15 to 20 minutes debate. Fine. Debate, as many number of questions possible in this much time frame. It's just that you should not give objective answers like we no, no, not like that. You should be giving explanatory answers to do better. And of course, the langage, the level of language you need to take care of that. You are giving a C1 level exam, right? So language, of course, the language aspects matters. The hold on your grammar and vocab, sentence formation, whether you are using complex structures or sentences or not. At the same time, at C1 level, structure is also important. Structure using connector logic, right? So 1.5 hours is the total time for production oral. Talking about the Approf collective, the total is 4 hours, and the exam in most of the centers it takes place on the same day itself. But I have heard that in some centers it takes place on some other day too, like a day or two later. So refer to the uh, calendar that you get, right? Most of the times it's on the same day itself. First you have PO and then you have the Approf collective. It's of 4 hours at a stretch, all three together. Okay. Uh, PO I have talked about it. One thing for sure that the themes that we have for in the question, the general themes, they are more or less similar to B2. What you have, the themes that you learned in B2, more or less you have the same, but in a bit more expanded manner. Of course, since we have taken up a notch, the level of difficulty and level of language will also be taken up by a notch, right? Obvious thing. So that's fine. Roughly like maximum 15 to 20 themes are there, right? Environment, health, uh, peer pressure, addiction of screens, pollution, water scarcity, and then something related to like vertical expansion of cities. There are many topics like that. FF Collective. First things first, we have comprehension oral. Now up to B2, as per the nouveau format, it's entirely MCQ. Entirely. For CO and CE. After B2, it's not the case. You will have in CO, I guess, as much as I can recall, Vreu for justification is not there in CO, but in CE, Vreu for justification is there. And also, both of them have, of course, MCQs and subjective question answers too. All sorts of questions are there, right? CO, you will get two questions. First one will be a bit long, second will be a bit short. First one will have an audio of 6 to 7 minutes. Second short question, the short question will have 2 to 3 short audios of 1 to 2 minutes. But there's a catch. The long audio will be played twice. The short audios will be played only once. So you need to be very attentive. Okay, you'll be given a few seconds or 1 or 2 minutes in between the recording as well. It will be indicated that now please write your answers, something like that. So have your bureau in front of you, listen attentively, keep noting down whatever you feel that the answer is, and then think again doing the second. If you're talking about this question, doing the second playing of the audio, just confirm whether you have written it correct or not, and it's done. It's done. Right. It's just that be attentive and do practice beforehand. Podcasts and news channels, because see now, B2 onwards, in fact, B2 onwards, you get audios from the real life scenarios, real life audios you get, like the audios from the news channels, from podcasts, from interviews, you get the real audios. So if you have cleared up to B1 and now you are planning for B2, C1 and even C2, start watching all this, listening to all this, and uh, develop your listening skills, because that's really important. So yeah, that's comprehension orale. Comprehension écrite, I'm writing it here, comprehension écrite, which is the reading section. Okay, the duration, entire CO, I repeat, entire CO will take not more than 40 minutes. 40 minutes inclusive of the time that you got for writing the answers, the time that you got for reading the questions, and also the time when the audio was getting played. All these things are done in 40 minutes. First 40 minutes of 4 hours over. Now the next 50 minutes will be your reading comprehension. Okay, 50 minutes reading comprehension, you get one document of 2 pages, roughly 1500 to 2000 words, and you need to read that, and then you need to solve the questions. Up to B2, questions were actually pretty direct. But for C1, the questions will be analytical. You need to understand the inner context, okay, to be able to answer some of the questions. Not all questions are like that, but some questions are like that, where you need to really analyze the text. So that thing is there. Types of questions I have told. You get view for justification, you get the QCM, that's MCQ, and you also get the subjective question. Subjective question can be short or a bit long, like it could be for 1 mark and it could be for 3 marks as well. So depending upon the marks, write that much as it is required. And again, for subjective answers, it's a good strategy that first you write the answer on the brouillon, and then after the rectification you write it in the final sheet, given you have time. Time management is very important. Of course, read the questions, look for the keywords, right, and then answer well. Right. 50 minutes. Now we have, let me check the recording if it's going on fine or not. Yes, it's going on perfectly all right. Now we have the last section, which is of 2.5 hours, the longest epilogue of C1, 2.5 hours, which is PE, Production Écrit. There are 2 questions, synthèse, uh, and text argumentative. Now, text argumentative is exactly like B2. Okay, it's exactly like B2. It's just that the level of language that you should write, it should be a bit of a higher level, but the questions, the type of questions are exactly the same. You can get formal correspondence. In formal correspondence, you can get a formal letter, courier, which is your email writing, or you can get article writing. Right. So these are the possible structures. I got article writing, right? And 250 words is the word limit. Don't exceed 270. 270, 275, safe zone. Beyond that, better not. 1 or 2 marks may be deducted for exceeding the word limit, because I did. Right. Despite of knowing the fact, I ended up writing a bit extra. I wrote 330. It's not a bit, it's a lot. And yeah, that's why I got a bit less in Production Hecri in C1. So, article, email and letter, text argumentative, connector logic, different types of tenses, proverbs if applicable, types of various types of pronouns, adjective, possessive, sorry, okay, adjective et pronom, possessive, demonstrative, then pronom personnel, pronom tonique, use all those, different types of verbs, different types of tenses, subjunctive, C clauses. Try as much grammar concepts as possible. Use them in a coherent and relevant manner. This is the last question, 12.5 marks. For this, you should devote the last 1 hour of the exam. And before that, 1.5 hours for Santas. What is a Santas? Santas, you get the way you get the text declencher for PO. In the same way, you'll get 2 to 3 documents. It could be 2 long, 1 short, 2 long, 3 medium length, or maybe like 1 long, 2 medium length. It depends. I got 2 somewhat long, like somewhere between long and medium, that much length, 2 articles. So sentence is what? Sentence is not resume. Resume is like you have just first talked about the first article entirely, then second article entirely. No, not like that. It is rejected. It's not a. It's neither a summary nor a resume. It is a synthesis. It is synthesis. So synthesis is again of 12.5 marks. All the text declencher will have a same theme, and you would actually need to take. You can't copy the exact phrases. No, reformulation is very important. You have to reformulate, paraphrase the sentences, and you have to pick the content from the text itself. Then you need to build. Now all this thing you are doing in a on a brouillon. You need to note down the points, key points, then main point, subsidiary point, like that. Then arrange them in a nice order, which seems good, right? Just the way you did in your exposure, you order them, and then you start writing with reformulation, right? Like noun change to verb form change to noun form, active change to passive voice, like that. Reformulation can be done. There are many ways of doing that, so do that. And then you need to write 220 is the word limit, like 220 word exact, but 200 to 240 is the acceptable range. 200 to 240, no, neither less than this nor more than that. Okay, this is the safe zone, and this is the exact word limit. If it's exact this much, like 218, 219, 221, 222, amazing. Okay, because in these DELF exams you have to count the number of words and you can't bluff. Like you have written 270 words and you write 220. No, that won't work. You cannot do that. So, because examiners will catch you. Huh. Anyways, synthesis. So, it has to be a synthesis. You have taken elements, you have put in them, you have kept them in an order. It's not a resume. And one thing very important, you cannot add anything out of the documents. Okay, synthesis. In a synthesis, you can't add neither your opinion nor any extra bit of information. It has to be entirely a reformulated sentence out of the text that you have received in the question. Okay, so, and if you ask the books that one may use, I use 2 books for preparation. One is Cosmopolite, and the other one is we have ABC. ABC is nice for exam preparation, and Cosmopolite to level up your connaissance, your knowledge, right? So with this, we have completed the discussion on the examination pattern of DALF C1. If you are a candidate aiming for C1, best wishes, right? And do let me know whenever you give the exam in future, how did it go and how was your experience? My experience was pretty nice, right? Because C1, achieving C1 was indeed a dream for me, and really thankful to the teachers and friends, the mentors, and everyone else who had supported me in this journey, who had taught me, who had, without whose help this wouldn't have been possible, right? So let's see when I get to achieve my next dream, which is C2, finger crossed. So we can put a halt here. C2 Aujourd'hui, that's all for today. If you like this video, please give the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, Learn French with Anubhav. And if you have any doubt or suggestion, may write that in the comment section below. You will also like my Facebook page by the same name, Learn French with Anubhav. See you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Au revoir. N'oubliez pas que la langue française est l'amour.